Alright guys, I want to make a video that I feel is pretty important to talk about, called nature versus nurture, and how it impacts real life, and not just like these videos that I've seen about scientific version of explaining nature versus nurture and all that, but rather my interpretation of nature versus nurture and how I look at it and how it applies to real life. And it's great to see these scientists talk about it and how cool it is or whatever, and how they go into detail, because it's really like well thought out and stuff. That's great. But I want to talk about nature versus nurture from a realistic standpoint and why I got this topic and what made me think of it. I was talking to a guy and he was telling me that he broke up with his wife, divorced his wife. And they were in the process of getting a divorce, and he was sad and upset. And I said, well, why, man? What really made y'all get a divorce? And he said, she pays attention to her kids more than me, and they're my stepkids and her real kids. And these kids are like maybe 30 something or whatever, and they moved in with his wife and him, and they're not his kids, they're her kids. And he's very upset, and he asked, he's like, well, she don't talk to me, she talks to them more, and I feel like she don't care about me. And I asked her, hey, tell your kids to move out. They were supposed to live here for a month, and that he wanted them gone. He told her, you know what? They're supposed to move out out of respect. They need to move out of my house. And she was like, no, those are my kids. And he was like, well, if you don't fucking let them move out, then I'll move the fuck out. So he did, and the divorce went through. They filed for divorce. I don't know if it went through, but they filed for divorce, and now he's with another chick at some point. He moved on, but that's what this video is about: nature versus nurture, and how it applies to real life and different people's points of view on it, and how some people feel very strongly for the nature side, like him, and why I feel that. And one of the things he said to me, the reason why I said that is because he was like, they're fucking 30 something years old, they need to fucking move out and get their own fucking house and live their fucking life and stop fucking nurturing them motherfuckers. They're not fucking kids, they're grown fucking adults. They need to get the fuck out of my house. And that was his whole point of view, and that's literally almost what he told me. So if you think about it like that, he's saying they're adults and they need to move out of his house because, the way he was raised by nature, they need to fend for themselves and make their own shit and not rely on mine. And her point of view is, well, those are my kids and I'm going to take care of them. So nature versus nurture, let's go through this. So the first question I didn't ask him, I didn't talk about talk to him about this, because he's one-minded and I could have changed his mind, but he was already kind of divorced, so it was like pointless to change his mind, and he was convinced, and I know he kind of felt like maybe there's more to it than his point of view. So I thought it'd be important to talk about this. And the first question I asked somebody when I was talking to them about this, and they were like, yeah, well, it makes sense, if it was my kid, if I was the stepdad or the stepmom, and this, my partner was bringing their kids and they're like old, and they wanted to stay with me, I'd be like, well, why are they living here too? This is our house, we're older, we need to be alone. And we need to have our peace because we're older people. And I totally get that, and I can agree with that to some extent. I can agree both sides. But then I said, well, that's a good point you got. So you're about 27. If you lost your apartment or your house or whatever you got, and you wanted your mom to take you in because you had nowhere to go, would you still want nature to be more important than nurture? Would you still be that person that's like, well, nature's the law of the world and the way it works? Or would you want your mom to take you in? And they said, oh, well, I want my mom to take me in and help me out. I said, okay, so you'd want nurture. And they were like, yeah, I guess so. And I was like, okay, so when it comes to people themselves, they want to have some type of nurture, but when it comes to other people, then they like the law of nature, where fuck them, let's just do whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck, throw them out the house, whatever. But if it's you, and you need the help, oh, now it's okay, let's go with nature. Now let's be taken care of and have people give me a helping hand. Let's go with nurture, let's do the right thing and help people out. I'm not saying they're wrong or right. What I'm saying is that if you're on the receiving end, you'd hope that someone would nurture. And by that, I don't mean like a mom taking care of a baby. I mean, that is her baby. Even if it's an adult, you gotta understand it's this lady, those are her fucking babies. And I don't think people will respect and understand that they had this child that's 35 or 38 to you since the day they were born. Okay? They had them when they were born, held them in their arms as a toddler, whatever. Yeah, they're grown, I understand, they failed, whatever, they're doing bad in life. They're considered a failure in your eyes because you made it on your own, you're a tough guy. You fucking grew up, did the hard path, you worked your whole life, you're a tough guy. But you're also going to be fucking alone because no one's going to give a fuck. That's the road of a tough guy. Sometimes no one gives a fuck about you because you're tough, you're hard, you're unpleasant to be around. No one wants to be around that motherfucker. And I'm not picking sides, I'm just saying that's part of how people look at it. People might be your friend and respect you from an outside point of view, but if you're too tough and too harsh and you're too strict, well, no one's going to really like you, man. You're just not going to be liked at all. And I just thought that's an important point to play into this. I mean, that's her kid. Yeah, they're 35 or 38, but that's still their baby to the day they were fucking born. And I think women understand that more than guys. And I'm one of the guys that understands that in my mind. I feel like I understand that. I think women, they understand that more than men. A lot of men is like, well, I'm tough, I'm strong, you gotta be strong, or at least where I'm from. And you should not have help from your mother or your parents or whatever the fuck and blah, blah, blah. And I did it when I was a kid and I was tough and I moved out when I was fucking 16 or 17, yada, yada, yada. And then you got women that are like, oh, that's always gonna be my child. But then you got dudes that are very nurturing too. I'm not gonna lie and sit here and make it seem like, oh man. There are a lot of guys that nurture their kids and they see their kid doing bad and they like, fuck that. They see their daughter getting beat up by their boyfriend. No, move back in. You can be 35 or 40, I don't give a fuck. Move back in the house, we're gonna take care of you. Fuck that dude. And then we're not gonna let him beat you up, So guys can be nurturing too, and I think this whole video, the whole point of it is, I think it's okay for that guy that divorced his wife because she wanted the kids to come over to be tough. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, give them a deadline, they gotta move out. Look, fuck, at some point you gotta move out because, that's my lifestyle and I just want to be alone. But you also gotta have the nurture side. You also gotta have the reasonable side. You also gotta realize that you're not just nature. You're a fucking evolved form of nature. You're a fucking human being that has a brain and feelings. And it's based on emotions. That guy also had said how it hurt his feelings that she didn't pay attention to him. So you do have feelings and you do take that into consideration and you do hurt. And you made him want to cry and he started tearing up and crying. Yeah, well, that's part of nature and nurture. I mean, nurture allows you to have them crying feelings because somebody coddled you and told you it's okay to have feelings. And there are guys that ignore their feelings and don't want to cry and don't want to do this because they're trying to be tough and that's what they call nature. But that's not what nature is. If you look at the whole picture of nature, it's everything. It's being a human being who's emotional, who's angry, who's happy, who's sad, who's horny, who's depressed. That's the true form of nature. The true form of nature is nurture. Nurturing is a form of nature. It's not so much nature versus nurture as it is they're just parts of the same fucking half. They're two parts of the same thing. Nurture is a form of nature. And if you pick one over the other, it becomes imbalanced. It becomes unreasonable. So all I'm saying is sometimes it's okay to give in to nurture because it's sometimes the very nice part of nature, and I think that's good. I think you need to take care of people and help them when you can, but don't help them. It's going to endanger your life or anyone else's. Don't bring someone into your home that's a random stranger. But if it's your daughter or your son, it's okay. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, if it's your wife's daughter or son or your husband's daughter or son, it's okay to give them a shot, to give them a chance, to understand that that's your partner's beloved little child. And you may not give a fuck about them because you're their step-parent, but you gotta respect that the person you're with, that's their world. And you can't fucking treat them like shit because you do the same for your kids if you had a choice, If your kids were there, you'd probably do the same for them. Oh, you know what? Stay. And if your partner doesn't like them, you'd feel fucking deeply offended. How could you not care about the person that you love gave birth to? Even if their father's different or whatever, who gives a fuck? That's a part of the person you love. That's their legacy. That's what's going to probably be alive when they die. That part of them. And yeah, I know kids aren't perfect. They fucking do stupid shit. They might do drugs or get arrested here and there. can't keep a job or whatever. Nobody's fucking perfect. Look in the mirror. You're not fucking perfect. I'm not fucking perfect. I'm stupid. I mean, not literally, but I fucking make stupid words on my videos. They don't make any sense. I fucking explain shit wrong and use the wrong terminology, and people are gonna point it out and say fucking retarded. Who gives a fuck? No one's perfect, but you gotta fucking try to better yourself every day and be a little bit better. And you also gotta treat people good, man. And that's where this whole nature versus nurture thing comes in. And you know, that's pretty much all I wanted to get out on this video, is straight to the point. That it's probably going to be a shorter video than most, and I just want to make that the main point. So keep that in mind, guys. Nurture is just a part of nature. Don't always try to separate the two. Don't make it sound like being nurtured is being weak, because nurturing isn't being weak. You're a human, so you're fucking weak whether you like it or not. The fact when you get sick you gotta take fucking medication means you're weak. You gotta fucking be nurtured, bitch. Don't act like you're the fucking greatest thing in the world and you're a superhuman because you did everything on your own. No fucking human did anything on their own. You're not a fucking scientist. You didn't make medication. When you get sick, you take medication. Did you grow your own fucking food? Probably not. Did you kill that animal? Someone else did it for you. That's nurture. You were fucking nurtured. Everything is fucking nurtured. Did you make your own clothes? No. Another company made them for you. And now you fucking bought them clothes that were already made. Did you make your bed? No. Did you make that car? No. Well, let's do it the nature, the natural, whatever the fuck you want to call it, way, your version of nature. Then you'd have to do everything on your own because you're self-reliant. You're a tough guy. Nature versus nurture. The stereotypical version of nature is that you're a tough guy. You did everything on your own. You came from the bottom and you worked your way up. You didn't do shit on your own. You had society help you. We had our family raise us and take care of us since we were children. Everything is never on our own. We'll never do anything on our own. You can't do it on your own. Even if you're a self-made millionaire, you had some type of help. And I get where they're coming from, that the majority of people didn't help them in some ways. But people were helping you behind the scenes, whether you like it or not, by making medicine and all this food and shit. So before you treat people bad, just remember, nurture is a form of nature. And that before you decide someone is not deserving of being nurtured, remember that if it was you that was being asking for somewhere to stay, you would hope that that nurture aspect of nature would take place. And you would hope that even though you're an adult, that your parents would take you and help you out. So I'm just saying, take that into consideration. Even if you're a tough guy and you like, being strong and shit, and, telling people that they need to grow up, that's fine. But every once in a while, give into that nature. At least let them talk it out. At least let them two parts of your brain work together. I'm not saying to crumble over and every time someone wants to move into your house, them kids want to move into your house, to take them. That's not what I'm saying at all. They might be really bad kids that'll fucking drive your life into the ground. Don't do that. Don't fucking put yourself at risk for these fucked up kids that are fucking drug dealers and doing stupid shit. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying if they're good people and you know they're good people and you're just being a dick, just being a douchebag just because you don't want them there, just because you feel like you just want to be a fucking douche, then think about it for a second. That's all I'm saying. Alright, appreciate it.